I think the biggest challenge with this sort of art and doing it to the best of your ability is the element of consistency. So that's why my goal is locked in on consistency as a creative. 2014, Laredo. That was when I first started listening to Combat Jack when I was at work. I was listening to the Combat Jack podcast, and then from there, started listening to other podcasts. But Combat Jack was the introduction. And then from there, as I started listening to other podcasts, Brilliant Idiots, Serial, of course, you gotta give Joe Budden his credit. Definitely been listening there. But I also started listening to podcasts for things that I didn't anticipate, like professional development, just random subjects, so much information out there. I started to think like, I think I could do that if I had my own podcast. But it wasn't until I was creating High Flyer the Most High where those conversations with my boy 2J really were unique, and we both said like we should be doing a podcast. That was 2019. And so it took this amount of time. This is 2022. It took 3 or so years to really get to this point of actually saying like, yeah, I should be doing that. But after I completed the album and I released it September 2020, that was COVID. This is where the universe just shifted everything, right? When COVID hit 2020, I have been working on that project all of 2019, had all these grand ideas of what I was going to do with that music in 2020. I was stubbornly set on a release date in September, regardless of COVID. I wasn't moving it. So many lessons learned as a creative from that standpoint. But I was so fulfilled with that project. I said, you know what? Now the next project is not going to be related to music. I can go on and do something different. And that's where the idea of the podcast came to be. Me and 2J, we went after this idea together, did some pilot episodes, shot a few different times, practicing like what that's like to do the conversation, to record it, what the goal is of it. And it takes a long time. I think the biggest challenge with this sort of art and doing it to the best of your ability is the element of consistency. So that's why my goal is locked in on consistency as a creative with this journey. You gotta lock in so I can do this every week, 2023. Y'all hold me accountable. If a week go by, y'all gotta let me know and hold me accountable. When we were wrapping up the album, COVID was in full effect. It slowed a lot of stuff down. And from a professional standpoint, it forced me to work remote as well. And so this sort of perfect storm of events that COVID brought all together from a personal, professional, and creative standpoint. Personally, I had already, how can I say this? From a personal standpoint, I already had what most men wish to have. Personally, I go to sleep next to a very beautiful woman. I wake up next to a very beautiful woman, and then I repeat and do the same thing every single day. Life is simple, and I already had that. Not only did I have the opportunity to every day wake up and go to sleep next to a beautiful woman, I actually enjoy spending time with that person. So personally, I had everything I felt I need to feel like I'll do whatever else professionally and creatively to keep me going personally, because that is so enriching and fulfilling. And those personal relationships, whether that be not just with my wife, but just family, friends, those relationships and how they have impacted me. I've really had to wrestle with these things so that they don't hurt my personal relationships moving forward, which is a big key as to why I feel I'm ready to do this type of podcast. It's really taught me to break down that wall of judgment and just try to see things for what it is and accept people for who they are.